10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, the Zoom homies.
Live from the Tony Wallow Studios, it's the Ken Stout Live Show, featuring the Zoom homies, produced by LK Productions. It looked like there for a minute that was stuck on the opening for like 2 rotations or whatever. Hello everybody, I'm going to go ahead and open Zoom up. Just going to admit these people one at a time in no particular random order. And I'll turn the volume on so they can be heard. Hello Greg, hello Wintermute, hello Alex.
Hello.
Hello.
Don't jump out the window now. Got to run up to the, yeah, don't, if you have to run up to the 11th floor, whatever you do, don't jump out the window.
Oh, when did we become these people?
What people?
I don't know. When did you stop when did you stop answering questions if they were simple questions? You tell me. How would you like to be referred to, Mr. Cheak? That's a question, by the way. It requires a response.
I don't know. I'm
digging a hole that you're not going to be able to get out of. Say these words after me. I'm digging a hole I won't be able to get out of.
I'm digging a hole I won't be able to get out of.
So sorry if I offended you by calling you these people. You tell me how you want to be referred to, Snowflake, and I'll be glad to refer to you however you wish to be referred to.
I don't know.
So how was everybody's afternoon?
A lazy day.
Yeah, I took a nap. I fixed one little problem I had going on, and I sat down, and the next thing I know, I am sound asleep. Fortunately, I woke up way before 9:30. Otherwise, it could have been disastrous. I'm going to change my background. I had that up there for a specific reason. Wintermute, I apologize. I dozed off and didn't get back with you.
No worries.
Let's see. What shall we go with tonight? Since we're not going to see sunny weather until September of next year, let's go with the golf picture. I saw a video today and immediately thought of Alex. It's basically a guy who made a wheelchair kind of set up with a souped up engine. Looked like a comfortable ride and fast. William Dawson asked Alex, how's the job hunting going? I don't think there's been any update since yesterday.
Nah, really. I'm waiting on a guy to hopefully call me back. Hopefully beginning of next week.
We'll get a few more people in here in Zoom. I'm going to turn the stream over to you guys. Let you guys talk about whatever you would like to, with a few exceptions. We will not talk about routers. We will not talk about internet speed. We will not talk about college days unless it involves frat parties. If it involves frat parties, I'm all ears.
I don't even know what that is.
That's what we're going to talk about then. We'll get you educated.
Filtered life.
Do what?
Just Alex's sheltered life.
Yeah, seriously. What internet?
I went in my defense. I did go to a college that everybody commuted to. Nobody lives there.
So nobody lived on campus. It was all.
No, nobody lives on campus.
I thought all colleges had somebody living on campus.
Not all of them.
When I would connect at 2:00 in the morning to the college network, I would get the full gig speed because nobody'd be there.
Apparently, when I said we weren't going to talk about internet speed, that didn't process. Why would you? You struck my curiosity. Now, why would you connect to your college at 2 o'clock in the morning? Oh wait, I know this answer. Here we go. Go ahead and say it.
Run updates and do things I couldn't do while he was teaching, while everybody's there and he's teaching class.
Such as, for example,
running updates.
When to read Usenet back in the day. It's a news service.
I must have went to the old.
Stuff.
I went to the old school college. We went to class. We opened our books. We had a boring professor, which was usually someone else in the army. But anyway,
Fell asleep.
Greg, yours is what, in the fives, mid fives, mid
Yeah.
threes, something like that. I had to check mine today because we were having some issues with the Fire Stick, and they were like, "It's your internet." I'm like, "It's not my internet." So,
And the other reason, Ken, is because I could.
people jump off roofs, but just because they do, are you going to jump off the roof? I mean, I was watching people drive down the road today in a 45 mile an hour, doing about 90 mile an hour, but I'm not going to jump up to 90 and follow them. I'm giggling in the comment that I just read. So I'm hoping BH Ringer joins us. God, eye itches all of a sudden. So Wintermute, I'll have a quick, brief discussion with you involving DaVinci Resolve. I thought about this a little bit today. I actually believe my project that I'm going to undertake is not going to be that difficult to do.
God, here we go again.
No, I'm not sharing my screen.
Jesus, frog. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to take
Zoomies
a nap.
popping in or something.
Yes,
That
but
project.
we'll discuss that afterwards. So when Greg goes on his rant, it's not going out over the internet. Yeah, it's not going to be that difficult, I don't think. I really think it might actually come down to 16, maybe 20 nodes, and it will be accomplished.
I was having problems. These people won't leave my computer alone.
People are everywhere.
Well, you need to talk to those people, Chris. You tell them that you have an important live stream to attend. By the way, hi, Jeff. Welcome in, Chris.
Good evening.
No baseball tonight?
There was baseball this afternoon, but I didn't have the duty today. I did go to the game for just a minute. Was at a place I'd never been to before, a place called Craig Ranch Park in North Las Vegas.
I've heard of Craig Ranch, yes.
And the GPS took me to the wrong side of it, and it was a half mile across the park to the baseball field. So I went back and got back in the truck and drove around to the other side.
Yeah, I've actually heard of that.
Yeah, up there right next to it was a commercial thing of some sort with Italian name on it, but it said paranormal stuff.
Area
weird.
51?
Hmm?
Or Area 51? Didn't they
Well,
have...
there's an Area 15 right off I-15 now, with a play on words as Area 51.
Sure. And then I believe, didn't they have one, or I dreamt this, called 451? Does that ring a bell?
There's a book,
Yes, there's the
Fahrenheit
book.
451.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say.
Yeah, I know there's a book, but I thought there was an quote unquote establishment there in Vegas called...
That there might be, but I don't know it.
Yeah,
Also, a movie called Fahrenheit 451.
Yep.
yeah. I want to say that had Samuel Jackson in it, but I'm probably wrong.
I don't know.
Oh,
Isn't the thesis of all of that is the temperature that
Paper burns.
paper catches fire?
Yes.
Something like that. All right.
Books.
they had a big book burning scene in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Since
Ray
I've seen
Bradbury.
that. Huh.
I was supposed to do my taxes today, but I got lazy.
We still didn't get the W-2s from the one place, which we know we're not going to get the W-2s from the one place. So I'm just going to go ahead and download them Monday.
I got all my stuff right here.
I think I have everything. I haven't installed my tax software yet. I've gotten lazy in recent years. I buy tax software for the lowest price I can find and just use it.
Well, if you make under 73,000, you can do it online for free.
So Fahrenheit 451, was that redone twice? Because the latest one was 2018.
Don't know.
Yeah, there's probably a couple versions.
Yeah.
It's a book, Ray Bradbury.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. But I thought 1966. Okay, I knew there was one
I was
from
gonna
way
say
back
it's
when.
60s or maybe early 70s.
Yeah, the newest one has Michael B. Jordan in it, Michael Shannon, some girl's name. I would have said some chick's name, but I would offend someone. Some girl's name I can't say.
She good looking, Booty?
She's not bad looking. I was reading an article earlier where one of the Real Housewives of one of them Real Housewives shows going to prison for 6.5 years due to fraud. And I thought to myself, there's a big surprise. I got chat popped out, and it's not really helping. I'll be glad when Tuesday comes and goes. At least I'll have some idea of what's going on with my vision. Oh, Long Dog's on a roll with his one-liners tonight. So anyway, now that there's 6 of us here, I will bow out and turn the show over to you. Take it away, anybody. Reminds me of that Tim Allen commercial for his show, Last Man Standing, and his wife sitting there goes, "The girls are talking to him. You're just not listening." He turns to her and goes, "Huh?"
Yep.
Called having selective hearing.
What?
You heard me.
No, I didn't.
Kind of reminds me of an old Saturday Night Live skit for some reason. With Gilda Radner.
Yep.
And she had a few good ones for sure.
I hadn't thought about her in a long time, but yeah.
No, I think the original Saturday Night Live, of course, it was new, so it was, obviously well received or better received than some of the older ones.
Yep.
Can anybody name the original cast without looking it up? I can't either, just to be.
No, I never watched the original at all, ever. I don't know why I never got into it.
Hey, Martin?
I don't think Steve Martin was ever a cast member. He was a host a few times.
He hosted quite a few times.
I would say Chevy Chase, Garrett Morris, Dan Aykroyd, Jane Curtin, Gilda Radner, Lorraine Newman,
Belushi.
John
That was
Belushi.
first.
Who was the other one you named? After Belushi?
I didn't say. I was trying to remember if he was in the first cast. I don't know if he was. I don't remember.
Yeah, I forgot about Belushi, but I'm sure he was in the first cast. Samurai. Remember his skit with the samurai? Yeah. That and the Pepsi. I don't know why our minds do this. Well, you guys are thinking, what do you mean, our minds? I don't know why my mind does this, but sometimes I think of the strangest things from way back when. I probably have early on set Alzheimer's. Can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. By the way, welcome to the show, you guys. Is that acceptable? I was going to say you guys. It's all men. I'm not being sexist. Yeah. It's all men. Okay.
As long as you don't say
are you sure? You sure it shouldn't be used guys?
Used guys.
If you're from Jersey or wherever.
Yeah, really. My cousin Vinny. That's a good. You saying Jersey made me think of that. Just
Also,
stop.
that was Archie Bunker would say that.
Yeah, that was a good show too back then. That's another one that could never be shown today.
Why not?
Oh, I wonder.
I'm sure you can find it on reruns.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Oh, it's
Oh, I'm
on
sure you
also,
can.
it's also on one of the channels, I believe Tubi or something.
I don't know if I've seen the original for a while, but Archie Bunker's Place, which was sort of the follow-up after his wife died in the series,
Right.
or about the time she died, is still on in a spot or two. I've seen episodes of it.
11 o'clock.
Yes, it is.
Hear the chain.
11 o'clock and nothing's well, or no, all's well, or whatever.
No, I think you hit it right on the nose.
It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your brain is?
No. That's easy.
Yeah, that's a simple question. All in the Family debuted January 12th, 1971. Wow, that's...
Earlier than I thought.
When did MASH debut, I wonder? Wasn't that right around the same time? 72.
74, 75.
September
72.
72.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That was a decent show, too. So SNL debuted, what, 75 it says? No, that's not, that can't, I mean, it might have debuted in 75, but I know Kate McKinnon, Pete Davidson, Kenan Thompson, Adie Bryant, and Lauren Michaels, Cecily Strong, Tina Fey, and Colin Jost were not the original cast of Saturday Night Live. Even though that's what I put in for my search. That was pretty close. History of Saturday Night Live. Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Gilda Radner, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin, Lorraine Newman, Garrett Morris, and George Coe? Who in the hell is George Coe?
George
Remember
Coe.
him.
Yeah, exactly. He must have been the token. Let's just throw somebody in here that's a real actor or something. I don't know. George Coe. What I got to go see what little George did in his life. Uh-oh. That didn't work.
Are you seeing that?
I put in original Saturday Night Live cast and then went to History Saturday Night Live on Wikipedia. And then about halfway down it says original team. The first cast members hired were Second City alumni Aykroyd, Belushi, Radner, Chevy Chase, Curtin, Newman, Garrett Morris, and George Coe. Interesting. Who was the first host? And everybody should know this.
Betty White.
No.
Carlin? George Carlin?
George Carlin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got a dumb question I think is related. Just a YouTube thing popped up over here. Man. Was Father Guido part of Saturday Night Live?
Oh, Father
Yeah.
Guido Sarducci. Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Let me tell you about the weather. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Sanford and
so.
Son. Yeah. Long Dog mentioned Sanford and Son. That was a good.
Yeah.
What that had
I
been,
liked Fred and Aunt Esther
Yeah.
getting into it.
I'm trying to think if that was an original series or a offshoot from one of the other ones. Can't really remember that.
I think it was original.
Yeah.
Some
It's a
people
British
wouldn't
show.
believe it, but that was pretty tame for Red compared to Red Fox's stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I'm sure it
Oh, yeah.
was. I'm sure it was. I need to check my email real quick. I shot one off a little bit
I don't
ago.
remember when he started doing stuff, but prior to that, there was another gal back then that woman that had similar comedy called Mom's Mabley. I don't know if you've ever heard of her.
I have heard of that, actually.
And there was, when I first started to college, which was like 1965, sometime during the first year, there was a group called Doug Clark and the Hot Nuts that came to town. And we were threatened with being kicked out of school if they caught you attending the concert. Don't know if that was really true. That was the rumor that was going around.
You just didn't want to try it and see if you'd get
Well, I
kicked
mean,
out, right?
and they started it doing shows around universities, someplace in the southeast. I don't remember where exactly. And their thing was singing quite risque songs, not obscene, but just bordering on the edge, you know.
David Carradine, Kung Fu.
Yep. You got to be old to remember some of these.
Just makes you think when people that are watching some of the stuff that's on television now, when they're in their 60s and 70s, what are they going to be remembering? Blues Clues? So in my Google Mail lately, I've been getting this pop-up that says, leave site, changes you made may not have been saved. I haven't made any changes. I sent an email. I may have to be looking into another email to use. Seems to be going around these days. All right, that's done. Where are we at here? Long Dog, I sent you an email. It's actually an answer to the email you sent me a couple days ago. Sorry. Sometimes I don't get around to doing what I should do on my emails.
I've got a couple of Lawn Dogs emails in my inbox. I haven't gotten back to it. Well, I need to.
Did you guys
Haven't
run
forgotten
home
you.
every Friday night so you could watch the $6 Million Man?
No,
No,
I don't think I did either. I remember when was
Sunday
Dukes,
night.
when was
It was on
Dukes of
Sunday
Hazzard
night.
on?
$6 Million Man was on Sunday night. I
yeah,
remember that. That
Take
was
Dukes of Hazzard was on
prime time
Friday
evening.
night.
And then the Bionic Woman was an offshoot of the
Yeah.
$6 Million Man, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
nah. That was more interesting than $6 Million Man.
Yes, much more interesting.
Always wondered exactly what parts were bionic.
Well, that does it for the stream. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
But she had a bionic ear,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
and I don't remember what else. They both had a bionic arm, I think, at least one. I don't remember.
I wasn't really paying attention to her arms, if you know what I mean.
Well,
John Aloy Sr. says, I agree. Good to see John. Always appreciate him being here Friday and Saturday. And if there's a holiday on Monday. Hey, wait a minute. Is Monday going to be a federal holiday?
yeah, President's Day.
President's Day, yes.
Yeah, it should be.
No school Monday, which I forgot about when I made the appointment to have my truck worked on. I'm trying to figure out, I may have to get my truck to the Ford dealer and make it to a baseball game somehow about the same time.
William Dawson says she had arms. They don't give you a I don't want to say
Loaner
rental,
car.
but they don't give you a
Loaner
vehicle to
car.
drive.
Oh, they will give me that, but it's a question of the timing. If the ball game's in the morning, I'm screwed.
Oh, okay.
You mean they have baseball every single day?
No, 3-day weekends usually result in tournaments that can go through Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Man,
And that's
If you
probably
win. I mean,
Yeah, right.
the winners would play Monday, the last 4 teams.
right. Do they have a lot of double elimination tournaments, or is it all single elimination?
I guess it's double. You can lose once and still make it to the finals.
Who remembers the TV show Garrison's Gorillas?
The name vaguely rings a bell, but I don't.
Heard of it.
Hang on a
Sundays
minute.
don't.
I'm
Sundays
not
Is that
don't
the
Googling
work
ones
it.
that were in
for
the China
Garrison's Gorillas.
India theater?
Sundays don't work here for a lot of people for sports like that. Because we in the Bible Belt South, so it's
Oh.
still like that.
Who remembers the Rat Patrol?
Yeah,
Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
it's on right now on Heroes TV.
Oh,
Heroes
gotta
Night.
go. Heroes, you say? Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Out there in the desert someplace.
Yeah,
Christopher Plummer?
George.
Oh, Christopher George, right. Yes. That was a decent series.
Huh.
67 to 68.
Garrison's Gorillas apparently was
Before my
only on
time.
one season. 26-hour-long episodes were made.
What year did it debut?
1967.
Okay.
Said it was canceled at the close of the first season and replaced by the Mod Squad in 1968.
Yeah.
Well, that would come down.
Canceled
Link,
a month
Julie,
before I
and
was
what was the
born.
other guy's name? The black guy was Link. Obviously, Julie was the woman.
That was Clarence Williams III.
Yes, it was. The Brady Bunch. Chris was in there, yeah.
Hmm.
That
Partridge
was actually
Family.
70s, but it still ran through the 80s.
Oh, you could probably find it somewhere today if you looked hard enough.
Oh
I got it on DVD.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Even got the Brady girls when they got married on DVD.
And Partridge Family.
Yeah.
I watched an old
David
episode of
Cassidy.
Columbo last night, early this morning, whatever you want to call it, and it had Jack Cassidy on it.
Hmm.
He was a killer. Thought he was
Yeah.
a smart killer too, but he actually wasn't. And of course, Columbo goes, excuse me, just one more thing, sir.
Never
like
could
that
get into
show.
Columbo.
Huh?
Never did like Columbo.
Oh,
What about
was that?
McMillan and Wife?
Yeah,
About the
sort of
Rockford
so-so. It
Files.
was okay, but not
Rockford
great.
Files was decent. What was the one with, oh gosh, no, I can't think of it. It was on that Sunday night thing too. Dennis Weaver.
Oh, the
He's always
Marshal.
riding the horse in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played a Marshal from New Mexico or Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't remember which.
And none of us can think of the name of it. That's okay. I will forget your guys' name. Pretty soon I'll be calling you guys Bill and Bob and just all kind of confusion.
Don't call me Shirley.
You'll be calm as these people.
Stop calling me Shirley. I'm your last hope. What was the name of that?
Cloud.
McLeod.
McLeod, yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
that's what it was.
Now, did you Google or do you remember it?
I just remembered.
Cool.
Trying to think of it.
Rick Lake says he watched MASH a lot, but not a lot of Brady Bunch.
Okay.
McLeod. Tony Wallow comes through with the answer. McLeod. Thank you, Tony. Good to see you. Hope things are well your way. Good for you. How's your mom?
How about Dennis Weaver's previous show, Gunsmoke?
How about chips?
Eric Estrada. I didn't watch a lot of Gunsmoke. The only Western that I watched a lot of, and it really wasn't a true Western, was Wild Wild West.
How about High Chaparral?
Nope.
Remember,
That was Lee Erickson.
Was there one called High Noon?
Yep.
That was a movie.
Movie.
Okay.
Gary Cooper.
Little House.
Oh, I've been watching a lot of Little House on the Prairie.
Family drama. It's
One of Mom's favorite.
It's considered
More or less, yes. More or less.
probably a Western, but
I'm trying to remember the TV shows that I watched as a kid, and I don't really remember much prior to moving out into the country in 1969.
Did Clark's American Bandstand?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I remember it when it was still in black and white.
Oh, yes. Or the Lloyd Thaxton Hour.
Don't remember that. I remember the two that came along after American Bandstand, The Soul Train.
Yeah.
I remember that. And then I remember Midnight Special.
Yeah.
I think that was on Fridays or Saturdays. I don't remember what day.
It was Friday or Saturday. I can't remember which.
Yeah, I can't either.
Now for
And then
westerns,
Don
did you watch
Kirshner
what?
came out with one right
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah. Don Kirshner's rock concerts.
Something like that, yeah.
Westerns, did you watch Rawhide?
No.
Yeah.
Bonanza occasionally. I do remember Bonanza. I led a sheltered life. I didn't realize it until
Those are
just
good
now.
old shows.
The Virginian.
Oh,
Nope.
Have Gun Will Travel, I watched.
Yeah. Richard Boone.
And, yep.
Paladin.
Dragnet.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
story you're about to see is true.
it was on 2 different times, as I recall. It was on, then went off the air, and then came back a few years later, I think.
Emergency.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who played in Dragnet, the main detective?
Jack Webb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yes, it is.
Harry Morgan or Henry Morgan was his change.
I've seen some of the people in Chips that showed up at like wreck scenes that were showed. I've seen them showed on Emergency too. Some of the same characters.
Yeah,
It would be
there's
like
crossovers.
Yeah.
or paramedics that show up.
Yeah, there
Chips
was a
was-
lot of that back then. I mean, there's still probably a lot
Emergency,
of it now.
but one of them was produced by Jack Webb, too.
Even though they wasn't connected in any way, I still seen some of the people show up. Like on wreck scenes and all that.
Well, if you watch Andy Griffin, you'll see all kind of people that are in all kind of other series back then. I seen one.
Well, what's his name, who was the sheriff in the Dukes of Hazzard, was in Andy Griffith once or twice as a guitar player.
Oh yeah,
The
and
sheriff of Dukes or has Boss Hogg? Oh no, not that wasn't Boss Hogg.
Roscoe
Yeah.
Roscoe.
Coltrane.
Uncle Jesse was Mr. Darling,
Yep.
very young age then, or a lot younger than he was.
Got my memory thinking now. Who played Roscoe?
James Best,
James Best.
I think. Yeah, he was in a lot of westerns too prior to that.
Long Dog is telling us about the necessity of new types of equipment for emergency. I liked emergency, and I also liked One Adam 12. See the Man in Dyersburg, Pennsylvania.
When that Robert Horton starred in Emergency.
Man, now I'm thinking. I was thinking Kevin Teague or Tig, however you say it. I think he was in it. And then,
Yep.
man, I can see that guy's face, but I can't think of his name.
Mantooth.
Randall.
Randy Mantooth, yeah.
Yeah, he was actually, after the show, asked to become an EMT.
John Alloy comes through with Car 54, where are you?
Big
And
tall
then
guy.
same 2 guys ended up in the Munsters.
Yeah.
Highway Patrol.
Yeah.
Roderick Crawford.
Yeah, you know what? He was in Chips, episode. One of the seasons.
Adam 12. Martin Milner.
Martin or Milner, that's who I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, he was in Adam 12 and Route 66?
Yeah. Martin Milner made a lot of movies with John Wayne.
I'm going through the cast of Emergency. I'm not really seeing anybody. Oh, Mark Harmon was in Emergency. He had to be about, 10 years old at the time.
Who was the doctor Not the gray, not the white headed, the other one.
The doctor?
Yeah.
I remember the nurse. I don't remember the doctor.
Hold on now. It's the doctor in emergency.
There were two doctors
Two
in
of them.
emergency.
There was a white headed man and then the other one.
Robert Fuller.
And
Yeah,
he
Robert
favored,
Fuller. He was in
He says.
a lot of westerns prior to that.
Yeah.
to me, he favored Robert Reed from Brady Bunch a little bit.
I can see
But the
that.
other doctor and the nurse were married in real life.
Yeah.
Like Dixie was her name in the show. I can't remember.
She was a
Julie
singer.
London.
Yeah, Julie London.
She was a singer. Or some kind of.
Yeah, she.
So has there been any update on Jimmy Carter?
He's just. They
Hospice.
thing I read said. I did not say exactly what was wrong with him, but and just said he had decided to just wait out what time he had left at home.
He's what, 98 years old?
Yeah, 98.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if he had my sister as a daughter, he wouldn't be doing that. By golly, he'd be getting up in his chair and doing things. How old was Mark Harmon? John Travolta had a guest. No way. In Emergency? He couldn't have been very old then either.
I think I've heard that he was a child.
That's the only one that kind of him and Mark Harmon are the only two that really jump out at me as they had to be extremely young.
Yeah.
Melissa Gilbert was
was
on
the other doctor.
Melissa Gilbert was on Love Boat.
He was born in 51. He'd have been in his 20s. I guess he wasn't that young. Is him and Pam Dauber still married? Mark Harmon?
Yeah,
Wow.
she was
really
in.
did- Do what?
She was in 2 or 3 of the shows about the time that Mark Harmon made his exit from NCIS.
And she was a writer, I believe.
Yep. Some of the guys that played firemen in Emergency were actually real firemen, and they were there to make things look
Realistic.
A guy named Stoker or Lopez. So the captain, the first year was a real fireman, but he didn't do very well. And the guy after that was an actor.
Because it tells you thank you to Los Angeles Fire Department.
I kind of itched there for a second. Put this over here. Go catch up on chat. Long Dog's mentioning John Wayne's son when he come into a restaurant I think he worked at. He would always have women with him that were beyond a 10. Interesting. So does anybody have anything they would like to talk about?
I didn't get to take a nap today.
I did, but I didn't get a restful nap. And I don't know
I
that
took
that's
a long nap
helpful.
this morning. I was worn out. I was trying to talk myself into doing something, but I ended up just falling asleep sitting on the couch in front of the TV. Well, John Wayne's son, now he was in that one movie, he rode an old early style motorcycle in that one John Wayne movie where they went after
His grandson,
son, right?
Big Jake.
Yeah, Big Jake, and that had Richard Boone was in that as a protagonist, and then
Just thought of something.
And that was his real grandson.
was it that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had heard that actually. I liked him in True Grit. I thought that was pretty good.
Sergeant Stryker.
Oh, that was in what, Iwo Jima?
Yeah.
What was the one after True Grit where he played the same character with what's her name, the older actress?
Oh, the shootist?
No, they ended
Oh.
up going down the river on a raft or something, but he played the same martial character as he played in True Grit. Can't think of that.
Calhoun? No, hang on. I don't know.
Only movie I remember about a man and a woman and a boy going down the river is River of No Return with Marilyn Monroe and Robert Mitchum and Tommy Ridley.
Rooster Cogburn.
Yeah, this was another Rooster Cogburn character, same character.
Well, there's a movie called that.
Well, I'm trying to find that. I can't.
Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah, Katharine Hepburn. And
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that
the
was a
name of the
good
movie,
combination.
Rooster
They
Cogburn.
played well off each other.
How many
She, she
movies
could
did
play the
Katharine
feisty
Hepburn and
character.
John Wayne do together?
3 or 4.
Yeah. Now, who was that you were saying with Maureen O'Hara? He made several with Maureen O'Hara.
Yeah.
How many he made with
One was McClintock,
yeah,
and then where he played the boxer.
The Quiet Man.
America went over to Ireland.
Yeah, The Quiet Man, right?
Quiet Man, that's it.
Yeah.
She made a lot of movies.
Oh yeah.
I think I know what I'm going to start filling in the empty space with on YouTube. I'm experimenting with it right now as I speak.
Okay, the sequel was named Rooster Cogburn. The one with Katharine Hepburn. Said the script was loosely based on the African Queen, but in the American frontier.
Long Dogs ask a question. Do us guys know who Bruce Penhall was?
No, that I don't.
Not ringing a bell either. I'd like to phone a friend. No? Okay. Could you give us another hint? This is what's odd about talking to chat. You don't really get a quick response. You know, living here in California all these years, when I look at how many actors I've run into in various ways, it's kind of surprising.
That's one of the kids that was in motorcycle series with the cops, the Chips.
Oh, okay.
According to Google. I mean, I recognize the face once it.
You can't trust Google.
So, Long Dog, when you ran into these people, did you run into them with your car, with your bicycle, with your horse? Did anybody get hurt?
Or a truck?
Or truck, yes. Or motorcycle?
Well, you can run into folks. I have a cousin. She and her husband live in Carson City, Nevada now. But years ago, they lived near Los Angeles. They lived in the same neighborhood, and they knew Glenn Campbell fairly well. So, I mean, if you just happen to live in the same area, same neighborhood or whatever at the time.
Remember Tammy Faye and Jim Baker? Yes, who cannot remember Tammy Faye and Jim Baker? Try not to remember Tammy Faye and Jim Baker.
She was memorable.
Jim Baker, he was a preacher.
Still is. He went
Evangelist.
back to it, although not quite in the same vein after he got out of prison.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay, he did like Jimmy Swaggart.
He was a reborn.
Jimmy Swaggart is Mickey Gilly's cousin.
I've got a question for Jeff.
Oh,
Did I
5.
see correctly that they're going to tear down Kansas City's gymnasium? Did I read
Kent
that right?
State?
K-State, yeah.
No. They're tearing down the complex around it. The
Oh,
Ahern Fieldhouse itself will be retained. I'm not sure what it's going to be used for. The last athletic event was there this week, I read. They used to have a nice swimming pool over there. After I got out of the Army and went back to school, I would go over there every lunch and swim for a while. It was in the same complex.
yeah.
It was built north of the original football stadium, which was called Memorial Stadium. And it's been turned into something else now, too. Memorial Stadium, the drama club or whatever, had some quarters underneath one wing of the old football stadium there. That's one of the places on campus that's supposed to be haunted. Not quite sure what the whole story was behind that. But all the stuff around the field house is being torn down, but they are going to keep the field house. I do not know what the plans for it are.
I wonder if they're going to retain it for use of basketball games in the future or whatever. Kansas won today? I thought they lost today.
They beat Baylor?
That's who they
Playing
played,
Baylor.
I believe.
I don't know
Yep,
what
they
the
beat
rankings
Baylor.
are now. Kansas State was actually ranked in the top 20 for a while this year.
I think they still are, actually, or at least I thought they were.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated today. I was watching IU playing. I don't know where their heads were at today. I told Lorna going to work, I said, they're going to lose 3 to 5 points. Well, put it on the radio and listen to it. I said, I don't want to do that because they're not playing well. So I didn't listen to it.
Here's Jim Baker is still around. After he got out of prison, he reestablished his PTL ministry and says his current show focuses on end times and the second coming, while on the side they're selling emergency survival products.
Kansas is ranked 5th in this poll. Baylor was 9th. Kansas State was 12th. IU
Which
still
surprises the hell out of me. This is the first or second year of a new coach at K-State. So I guess looks like they hired somebody decent anyway.
Who'd Alabama lose to? I know they recently lost. And I was thinking it was to some they lost to Tennessee. Okay. Yeah, that's not a slouch team, but it's not exactly one of your.
Well,
I'm going to guess that was
Tennessee
Alex.
was ranked number 10 here in the AP. Baylor 9.
Yep, that was Alex. And he sent me a message.
Well, Indiana's 14.
Yeah, they'll probably drop. They'll stay in the top 20, I think, but they should drop.
Yeah, guess who was their famous coach in the glory days?
Bobby Knight.
But yeah, Bobby Knight.
I think Mike Woodson, if he sticks around, I think he can turn into a pretty decent coach.
So Alabama's number 1 in basketball?
They're going to drop. They lost to Tennessee.
Okay.
I can't remember if Houston got beat this week or not. IU lost 2 points to Northwestern at Northwestern, and then they won today by 3. So they're not exactly killing people.
Yeah.
But
2.
a win's a win. It only takes 1 point.
4.
Long Dog, I wonder if they're going to play basketball on the ice rink.
6.
No, I don't think that's
Well, we got 6 Big 12 teams in the top 25, which surprises the hell out of me.
Well, March Madness will be here before we know it.
Yep.
I'll tell you what surprises me is Indiana's women's team. They're ranked second in the nation. I actually enjoyed watching them play the other night. They actually look like a well-coached team.
Women's team, South Carolina's number 1. Indiana number 2.
Yep. Last I checked, they were.
Is Tennessee in there any place? I do not see them. They used to be a perennial power.
Oh, yeah, back in Pat Summit days.
Yeah. Of course, I remember times when I was living back there and the men weren't doing well. People say they should fire the men's coach and have her coach both teams.
She probably could have done quite well, too.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, she started out as a graduate assistant coaching women's basketball, making, I don't know, a few $100 a month, and built them into a real powerhouse. After she had to quit, they've dropped considerably.
I think that's only natural. I can't think of any basketball team that had, let's just say, like UCLA with John Wooden. I think
Oh.
when he left, they dropped quite a bit.
And one I remember, well, Stanford is usually good at women's basketball.
Yes, Connecticut.
UConn is number
Or
6.
UConn, rather, yeah. Zinjak, yes, there you go. Thank you. Kenny is the best. I don't know about that, but thank you. Haven't been called Kenny in a long time. Long Dog says, I hope you guys like auto racing. That is my sport. Well, growing up just outside Indianapolis with the Indianapolis 500, I did like motorsports, and then got into NASCAR. And now I have very little interest in both. I still follow the 500 because of the nostalgia, but I know the Daytona.
I mean, the 500, that's part of what they call IndyCar racing, right?
It is
It's not
IndyCar.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
What you got? IndyCar racing, NASCAR, and what? Formula
One. They
are
got
the
the
three
truck
big
series. They got the go-kart series.
Well, the truck, excuse me, the truck series, that's like IndyCar for trucks, right?
No, it's like NASCAR for
Oh,
trucks.
NASCAR for
Yeah.
trucks? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a frame that looks like a truck. They've just put a shell over it. It looks like a truck. There's nothing stock about those cars at all.
Yeah, wait
But I keep up with the nostalgialism. I don't know how I want to say that, but of the 500. But for many years, I didn't keep up with it because I was too far away and whatnot. NASCAR used to be relatively good, but now it's just basically. I think at the beginning of a NASCAR race, and I'm going to piss some people off when I say this, I think they all get together after the driver's meeting and go, okay, call it in the air, and they flip a coin, and whoever gets it right, they win the race. Now, I obviously can't prove that, but still.
See, I just noticed I'm slow on the uptake tonight. You got some Ken Stout humor in the lower left of your screen.
Yeah, that's why I said I know what I'm going to fill in that spot with now. Yeah, that
is a good one, though.
Yes, it is. Almost as good as the other one. I haven't gotten it yet. I should go grab it and put it in there. I watched a little bit of a thing that BH Ringer sent me on a guy he follows out of Canada in coins, but he actually did a stream on OBS and StreamYard, which was quite informative.
Excuse me.
I need to get back into doing some stuff with OBS. I've been pretty blah. Now, Jeff, when you look at YouTube, are your clocks blurred? Mine look blurry. Could be my eyes, but mine look blurry.
Well, I'm not the best.
Check the resolution.
The clocks some of them with the small letters look a tiny bit blurry. The Mountain Standard Time is big enough it doesn't look blurry. The lettering is not.
See, to me, the clocks look fine and the lettering looks blurry.
I'm the other way.
And that's what makes America great. I don't know if I can do this or not. Let me see if I can figure this out.
Oh, excuse me.
I know the feeling, believe me. Okay, clearly that's not the right one. Okay, why is this not changing? I changed it. You know, sometimes I get so frustrated with OBS. I'm changing the source, but it's not changing. It's sticking right where it's at. And I think I'm going to revert that back to the previous version. I've been having nothing but issues. I was going to show you what I see, but I give up on that. So let's get out of that. Go back to here.
10, 9,
You are
8.
I've got the recurring screen now, whatever you call it.
Yeah, it's mirroring because for some reason it's just going to the wrong one. But it's probably my eyes. I'm going to go with it's my eyes. Alex had to leave early. He's got early church and a funeral to attend tomorrow. And I think we're coming up on the hour. Oh, yeah, 57 minutes. So I can go ahead and restore chat. And give some shout outs while I end the stream. I think I'll end the stream with this again tonight. Tony Walla was not first, although it shows that he was. If I go over to the studio and go all the way back to the top, believe it or not, B.H. Ringer was first, followed by Bobby Warren, then Tony Walla. Greg Guy was fourth. John Alloy was senior, was fifth. Rick Lakes, Jeff Ryman, William Dawson in that order.
Yeah, some of that disappears. When I got in there, it looked like I was around fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
I couldn't see all the stuff at the top.
Well, see, that's really odd because when I checked it, B.H. Ringer was not first. It was actually Bobby Warren. So I don't know why in the studio it's one thing, but then when you transition over to YouTube itself, it's not. That's really strange. So
I do like your new intro, by the way.
The same timestamp?
Yeah, they actually. Well, I can't look now because it won't let me go back, but I believe they were the same timestamps. I'll pay attention to that tomorrow night. Yeah, I need to transition a little bit better between them, and I don't. Now, this one that's running right now has to run twice. Oh, you guys aren't seeing that. It's only on why is that showing on OBS? It should be showing what the hell's going on.
Well, yeah, I'm seeing it twice or three times. I don't know what.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah. That's because in order to make this work from the, okay, so in order for this one that's going to show up about right, come on, today.
Fourth time?
That's stuck. Hold on. All right, Chris? Okay, so I'm going to turn them off. It should be, I'm going to play Doug Betts here. You guys are looking at a black screen now. Now you should be seeing shortly the Zoom homies with the bouncing letters. And then when it ends, it will automatically kick over to the new intro, which it just did on OBS and it just did on YouTube. Now, in order for that to work, I have to loop this, which means it's just going to sit there and run over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what I've got to work on. I want to tie the two together. There's a couple ways I could do it, but I'm cheating right now. So what I do is when it runs through the first time is I try to time it so that you don't see it run the second time. And sometimes my timing is not the best in the world. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Appreciate it. Hope tonight was entertaining. I enjoyed personally talking about old television shows, except I don't like talking about old things. I want to talk about new things. I guess we have to accept the reality that we're all getting old, right?
Well, when you get older, most of the conversations end up being, unfortunately, about who got what or who died.
Well, you were supposed to come back with speak for yourself, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and end it. I heard a bell. Someone's trying to join us.